our guest here today. And like I said, she's been here before with us, and she is an individual that I've known for a little while, but she really has a heart for people. She really has a heart for serving the community. And those, again, like I said, those are partners that we're fortunate to have with Bridging the Gap. And so she is here with us again, and she's going to talk about a couple of things that she's added to what she's doing to her nonprofit as well. I'm glad to have here with us Cynthia Garcia. She is with Rosie's Gracious Heart. It's a nonprofit. For her to tell you how this came about. I love what I do because you get to hear some of these stories on how things started. A lot of times we may not know. We see the end result of what something has already been done, but there's a lot of stories that are out there on how things get started. So she'll share a little bit about that, and then a little bit about her her program that she's doing, and something that she's adding that she's going to be starting up, I believe, this year, that's coming as well. So glad to have with us here. Thank you so much for having us. Say hello to the people that are listening.
Hello. Hi, everybody. I am honored to be here again. I love coming and sharing information. Thank you, Sal.
Thank you for coming. You are doing some great things, and I know that you've been coming to some of our meetings as well. I know some things have changed where you're kind of able to make some of our meetings. Just for the people that are listening right now, I like to get your perspective, because I could really say great things about Bridging the Gap, but you being one of our partners and that come to our meetings, is that, just share with the people about, is it something good that you would definitely recommend, or maybe something you benefit from it, or what is it in your own words?
It's a good networking. I am happy that I have the freedom to come more often now, because it does connect community with community. Whether you're a nonprofit, a church, or a business, or an organization, you can find people to collaborate with. You need support. Everybody needs support. So, if I have a service I can offer somebody, then, that benefits them, then, that's how the connections are made, and it's really beneficial. And I love that we do get that microphone time, so we can, share ourselves, what it is we're doing, and any information that we have coming up to get out to the community. Right.
And like you said, it's difficult sometimes if you're starting on your own, and sometimes it's like, man, it's just like, I can understand that, because I kind of wear too many hats, right? And we got to do this, and then we change our hat, and we got to do this. Being able to come and find, maybe some partnerships or some connections that may help us in whatever capacity is something great, because a lot of times, like I say, we've got to do everything on our own, or we don't know what to do, and we can get some answers there, or maybe some people can lead you in the right direction. So it's a good thing overall that we're able to come and connect and network together to find out who's doing what and how we can help, or how they can help us, and vice versa as well. But I know that like I said, you've been with us before, and I know some things have changed, I think, since the last time we probably had a conversation. I want to talk a little bit about that, and also some of the things that, or one of the things that you're going to be adding, that you're going to be starting off, that I think is very important. Because as a matter of fact, as I was thinking about that, I had one of the youth a while back, he was doing some things in school, or they were doing something, I don't remember, but he was needing some tutoring help. And I said, well, I don't know anybody that does tutoring right off the bat, right? But again, that's something that I know is much needed, especially with kids that are, maybe having some troubles or difficulties with school. So that's something we'll talk about in just a little bit as well. But really quick, give us a little breakdown about how or where Rosie's Gracious Heart started.
Rosie's Gracious Heart was named after my mom, Rosie. She passed away in November of 2016. So her career was with children with special needs at Northside Independent School District, and the kids were her passion. And so when she passed away, that just came to my heart, after her funeral, that I want to give back in her memory, and just start serving kids with special needs. And I have my master's in special education, so that is as well my passion. So it seemed like the right thing to do. And I fell in love with, of course, serving the community, because I had already been a part of an organization before, and I love to give back. So it just fit perfect, and that's where that dream came to mind.
And sometimes, little things like that we may not even think about. I know growing up, I remember, being young, I was like, I really don't want what I want to do, right? It was like, I think I want to do this, or maybe not this, but then something comes up where it really catches your eye, or something that it manifests itself in your heart. specifically like what your mom was doing. I'm a firm believer, like, nurses or people that deal with special needs are like really angels, because you have to have the heart of an
Patience.
angel, that love for people, that because you have to deal with, not the ordinary person, but someone who can't sometimes even do for themselves. And so I believe that like first responders that help people, and all these, doctors or nurses that help are really angels here that you can almost see physically, right? Because it takes a big heart to be able to do what they do.
For sure.
And so I know that has been something that you really were, was really moving your heart. And so you felt that, well, let me take it to the next level, right? Or let me, and I know that probably a lot of people out there can relate, right? They think about, man, I would love to do this, but sometimes certain things hold them back. It's like, well, I don't think I'm capable. I don't think that I can, or I'm not smart enough or anything. But like I said before, I really admire you because, you've been doing this on your own. And I can tell that it's difficult when you got to do everything on your own and you're like, okay, I'm not getting help from anybody, right? I'm not being able to have somebody dump $100,000 on my lap. Mm-hmm. So the struggle is real, right? The struggle is there. And so for those that maybe are listening, I mean, what would you tell them that, if they're thinking about maybe something like what you wanted to do or something similar or something else, right?
Just keep going, actually. Don't stop, because the blessings do come eventually. It's the very first year, it created in November, right after my mom passed, and Christmas was the first giveaway. I selected 30 families from the southside community, and we provided Christmas gifts, and that came from my mom's life insurance. Okay. So, I had that money, and I said, what a better way to do with that? So when those funds ran out, that's when the real struggle began, is raising funds, but it's like right when you want to give up, a door opens, or when you want to stop, something appears to assist you. So it's like, don't stop, you can't quit before the miracle happens.
Right.
So it's just keep on keeping on is, pretty much how I've been doing it since 2016.
Right. And I was thinking about that right now when you mentioned that was part of your money, the money that your mom had as insurance money. Even in her passing, even when she wasn't here, she was still giving.
Yes.
So man, that's so awesome to be able to know that I can, even though I'm not here, I may be able to help. But again, we come back to the finances, right? It's difficult, especially in these times that, people want to do things, but the money, again, sometimes stops them, or it's not there, and it's very difficult because it takes money to make money sometimes, right?
For sure, yes.
And not being able to have that, or the capability of saying, well, we want to do more, but it takes this to be able to do that. And so again, like you're saying, you just have to persevere, because your miracle is coming, but a lot of times we don't want to,
Wait.
The waiting part sometimes is hard. So in the other aspect of what Rosie is doing, like you said, you help the needed kids. I know that when we first talked, that's something that you were just beginning to do as well. And let's be honest again, right? Because we're talking about finances, and it's not easy to fund something, because the hard part, I think, is when we first start, people don't know you. And a lot of times people say, well, who are you and what are you doing? Or I don't know you really. And I get it. People get a little weary sometimes, because maybe some people have gotten burned.
Yes.
They give to somebody and it's like, it wasn't even what it was. So I can understand people being pretty weary about giving money. But that takes being a nonprofit takes money to be able to do what we do. And I know the issue of money nowadays, especially the economy, the way it is, it's even tougher. But I really commend you, because like we were talking about earlier, it's like I would love to be able to have a building to be able to do a lot of these programs as well. But you are already there. You already have your building, right, which you recently were able to acquire as far as renting a building out.
Yes, we have an office. We started off just as an organization. And 2019, I received my 501c3 status. So that was another, of course, journey to reach that, to save the money, to be able to pay for that process, to, become an official 501c3 nonprofit. And so after that, the goal was going to be to open up a center to provide for more kids in the community and have a place where they can come and do activities, and we can provide, therapeutic services and still resources for our children with special needs.
Right. And what are some of those activities that you do provide right now? I mean, as far as what you're able to provide the community or the kids at your place?
Well, right now we're still kind of focusing on resources. Okay. And, COVID had kept the door shut, and the whole struggle was just to keep the office open and raise the rent. So it's been like a fundraising focus. And now that things were kind of settling down, and I had more time to really try and develop some programs, I want to, we created the office to be a sensory room, and we're going to begin some music engagement programs with the children with special needs so they can have some mindfulness, some activities to come and just get away from the stress of school or home and learn some social skills and, behavior management skills and different things, because I know, our kids do have a lot of the mental health is needing some work. It's a little stressful time right now, and I want to have a place where they can come and be supported and learn some new activities and just be in a peaceful environment.
Right. And again, I think we were talking about that, discussing that, the way things are right now, because after COVID, kids, working with youth at my end, that before the COVID, the youth were already dealing with a lot of mental issues, right? A lot of stuff that they were going through and dealing with that a lot of times parents aren't even aware of, because they keep it in, right? They just keep pushing it down until they explode to get to that point, right? But that was the issue right before COVID. Afterwards, and I said that at one of our meetings, they had a news report where they were talking about they had a rise in emergency rooms where the youth were coming in thinking, I'm sick. And they were getting evaluated, and they were coming to the conclusion, it says, you're not physically sick, but you're more dealing with mental issues.
Yes.
But that was manifesting itself, right? And thinking, oh, well, I feel ill. And they're thinking it's something that I'm wrong. My body's something wrong with my body. But in reality, it was your mental state that you were dealing with. So that is even more prevalent now than before. What age group are you working with as far as with your program?
Well, the target I would like to reach is 4 and under.
Okay.
And then the older youth that are out of high school that have already graduated. That way they have a daytime place to come and not just, be at home. And our little ones, kind of like 4 and under, before they go into the school system, I'd like to work with them to get them ready to go into school. Maybe they don't have the social skills, or the family doesn't get to take them out because of their behaviors. So I'd like to, kind of work with them and get them ready to go into the schools.
And that's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think those years, right, from 0 to 3 or 4, I think are the most important years of a child's development, because that really sets the foundation for everything else that's coming.
Yes, and that age is usually the newly diagnosed, special needs children. So, the parent may not be familiar either how to work with them. So
right.
I'd like to kind of target them and then target the older ones that don't have day programs to go to.
And to be honest, I don't know if I've heard, or I know it's probably out there, but you're touching on something that I don't hear that very much of. I guess I don't know, I could be wrong, but like you're saying, that age group, that 0 to 4, that a lot of times get neglected, right? It's like, oh, well, they're still kids, and they'll grow up later and we'll teach them later. But being able to catch a lot of these things before they get older is very important.
Yes, it's like the autism. Usually they're diagnosed around the age of 3 or so. So, the parent doesn't know, the child doesn't know. They think they're just delayed in their development, but they need, to begin therapy soon if they need it.
And this is where your degree, right? You have a degree in that.
In special education.
Right.
Yes.
So it's important to know, if you're a parent right now listening, maybe you're thinking, well, I'm kind of concerned now, because I'm thinking now that you're saying that maybe you are picking up some things, but maybe you're not, like, okay, it's maybe something they'll grow out of or whatever. So if you're ever maybe thinking, I need, a professional to kind of evaluate this and maybe give me a better understanding of maybe this is not normal, right? Or maybe this is something that I really need to consider, because if I don't take care of it now, it could be a bigger issue down the line.
In the school, yeah. So their pediatrician, of course, can diagnose that. But, we can assist with activities to kind of help them and of course, interact with the parent as well, because some parents aren't familiar with, how to handle behaviors and things. So
right.
I'd like to add the parents to the mix as well, so we can, all work together, and that way they can work at home with their kids.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like I said, sometimes you don't think about that. You think, well, they get a little older, they'll learn as they go. But if you're able to get them right now and evaluate certain things that need to happen before they get older, it's going to work for them in the long run, not wait until down the line to like, oh, we could have been doing something preventative to hopefully get them to where they need to be.
Yes.
And so I know that you were talking about music too, because I love music, right?
Yes, me too.
Even though, like I always say, I would tell people, I say, well, I can't really sing or I can't really play an instrument, but I can play a CD. I love music in that aspect, right? But I know music is therapeutic in so many different ways, and,
Yes.
and that's one of the things that you want to provide also at your center there.
Yes, for sure. I have some drums. I am a part of a drum circle, and I find that to be very therapeutic for myself. I attend once a month, and it's calming, it's rejuvenating, it's very peaceful. And it also can release some aggression too. So it could be calming, or it can help to release, stress or tension. So I do have some drums there at the office, and I would like to incorporate some drum circle activities, or individual activities with the children too, to give them a new outlet.
Sure.
Some may not ever hold an instrument before, so put the instrument in their hand and let them just explore and learn something new, and help them in the process.
Right. And a lot of times, you hear some of these stories where it's like a little kid said, he's a great artist or something. He said, what got you into music, or how did you start? He goes, yeah, somebody put a drum in my hand, or
Exactly.
a
Yes.
guitar or something, and it's like, or I heard somebody sing or whatever, and that never left me. I just felt, attached to that, and so you never know, your kid may just gravitate to that and become one of these great artists down the line. You never know, but yeah, definitely music is something that you want to be able to, as far as the creative side as well. It says it develops creativity, right,
Yes.
in kids as well.
Yes, and I'm hoping to grow, because children with special needs do have talents, and they are creative. It's just give them the opportunity, and you'll be surprised. So my goal eventually is to get a larger space and have our own building, and incorporate other activities, along with health and wellness and things like that. So
Right. And there's a great
get
need for
these
that.
kids active. Yes.
Yeah, it's a great need for that. So if anybody out there is listening, maybe would like more information, or would like to maybe contact her to, whatever the case may be, maybe you want to donate some money. I don't know. Like I said, there's a great need. I think this is a great program that it can help or donate and invest or sow a seed into something like this. Believe me, it's something that you will be blessed for. The kids will be blessed, and also, Cynthia will be blessed, because she keeps doing what she loves to do, right? Because the need is there, as far as, needing to have funds to do this. But if they would like to do that, where can they reach out to you, or how can they contact you?
Well, Rosie's Gracious Heart at gmail.com is the email, and you can Google us as well.
Okay.
And all the different links will be there. We do have a Facebook page.
So social media,
Yeah,
if you want to
social
get in touch with her, or find out more information, or if you want to help, I know she needs help. If you want to donate your time or whatever it is, I'm sure she will probably receive that whole graciously, right?
Yes,
But
sure.
before we come to our end, I know something that you had just presented that you're going to be starting up, I think at the beginning of the year, right?
Yes,
about
yes.
tutoring. Can you share
Yes.
about that?
Well, yes. So I have, I was laid off during COVID, and all the doors to new careers were not opening for me. So it just seemed like God led me to run my nonprofit full time. And I don't earn a salary at this moment to run my nonprofit full time. So I do need to work to sustain myself and my daughter and my home. So tutoring is something that I'm creating as my for-profit business. And it's open to anyone ages 7 to 77 is what I have on the
Oh, wow.
the
I didn't
flyer.
know that part.
Yes. Adults going to school, trying
Yeah.
to get your GED, still trying to graduate high school, they may need help as well. So, yes, special needs children are the focus, but anybody who needs some tutoring help, I'm be happy to assist, and offer positive support. So that little company I decided to name Believers Achieve, because when we, you give the positive support, help the child believe in themselves, or the
Right.
adult believe in themselves, and they'll be inspired to do the best they can and excel in whatever it is that they're needing to learn to grow, in life, in all of life. Just helping someone believe in themselves does a lot for
Yeah.
somebody.
No, absolutely. And again, like you said, you can teach them or the education part, but a lot of times, sometimes they need encouraging,
Yes,
or they need empowerment,
exactly.
to believe in themselves. And I love the title of that, how you named it. And one of my favorite songs that came to mind is like "Don't Stop Believing," right, by Journey.
Yes.
So don't
Let's
ever
sing
stop
it.
believing. Yeah.
Yes. This is all like my nonprofit and the tutoring. This is all a life experience as well. So it's like, I know it works.
Yeah,
It's
no.
what is it? Evidence-based you know, practice, because, you know, I know it works and I want to share it with others.
Yeah, and
What has
it's
helped me.
and it's kind of entwined with what you're doing. You know, it's not necessarily just going off the deep end doing something totally different. I think it ties in with what you're doing, and it's a great way to help, you know, teach, learn, empower, right?
Yes.
To help them grow in their journey of life, especially at a young age, because they're more impressionable. They need help, especially like you said, special need kids that usually get left behind, or just kind of just put them over here to the side and let's keep moving. And so
Yes.
you have that going. So we definitely appreciate what you're doing. Anything else within the 30 seconds that we have here?
Oh, no, I just have to thank you. And I love this, the inspired by faith, committed to action, and between talk and action. I mean, that's how we grow as a community.
And that's exactly how we do it. I mean, sometimes we may not know how, or we may not have the funds, right? But we keep pushing, we keep moving. And that's why I'm so grateful for you, because I see that in you, and you're persevering, even though when you want to give up, or, you know, just throw in the towel. But there's hope at the end of the tunnel, right?
Oh, amen. Thank you.
Well, thank you again for being here with us. Unfortunately, we're already at the end of our program, but thank you. I want to thank everybody who listens and who's tuned in. Happy New Year. Have a blessed year.